Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and today I want to give you my first impressions on the Falcon and the Winter Soldier Disney Plus update now that it is all live. There's quite a lot to get through, so I want to cover the new uniforms and how they've changed the characters, some new sort of on-the-sly changes to game modes, and then the new content with the guided quest and the new rewards. So first up is the new uniforms for Baron Zemo, Falcon, and Winter Soldier. I'm going to start off by giving you guys my opinions on them while I go through and show you the uniform options, because those are always important and I always forget in other videos, so I just want to bang it out now. We got Storm, X-Men versus Inhumans. X-Men versus Inhumans, yeah. We got Thor, Team Suit, unfortunate there. We got Hawkeye, Bullseye, Hawkeye, Dark Avengers. I always call him Hawkeye. We got the new Cable X of Swords, or 10 of Swords. And then we have Spider-Man 2099, all new, all different. From what I've seen, Sam Wilson, Captain America Falcon's uniform is very, very good. However, keep in mind a lot of people are going to be tier 3ing him instantaneously, and the tier 3 is a huge buff for him. The accumulation, the invincibility, you know, it's a really big buff for him. The 50% increase all attack for 10 seconds. So I think it's definitely one of those uniforms that's going to make a lot of noise. And of course, he was pretty much unplayable before he got this uniform, but I would keep in mind that a lot of his value comes from not only investing in the uniform, but then also investing in the tier 3. However, when you invest in the tier 3, I think he's one of the best speed types in the game. Winter Soldier, on the other hand, is a little bit more nuanced. Now, his uniform options are Medusa, X-Men versus Inhumans, just like Storm, I just realized. Scarlet Witch Uncanny, this one's a bummer, in my opinion. Rogue Excalibur, which is great. Valkyrie Defenders, which is great. And then Red Skull Hydra. So some good and some bad there on the uniform options for both Bucky and Winter Soldier. Bucky and Falcon. Bucky, you know, on the other hand, I think is going to take a little bit more time. He is definitely better than he was before. He definitely has more ways to defend himself, and he's not as vulnerable. And his accumulation is now damage dealt rather than damage received. So that's really, really good. And he seems to have some good PvE moves, or PvP moves, excuse me. But his real issue is a lack of a heal and possibly inconsistent damage. He does have ways to skill cancel, and I do think he will be quite effective with a regular damage proc / CTP of energy combo. Like, I don't think he's going to need a rage per se, but I think his old uniform was actually not bad, right? We sort of covered it in a video a few days ago, and I said, you know, Bucky's kind of surprising me. He seems pretty good. So I think players might not see as much value in Winter Soldier, especially when you compare him side by side to Falcon, because like I said, Falcon is going from 0 all the way up. So his you know, ascension is just, you know, meteoric. But for Bucky was already sort of halfway there. So his jump, people are like, I don't know if I want to invest in this just for the jump. But I'd say if you already have him at tier 3 and you like the character, this is a huge W. The one thing people are going to complain about, and besides the character itself not having a heal, is the character model for the face. I honestly don't think it's that bad. Maybe they could touch up the eyebrows a little bit, but I don't play the game for the faces. So, I mean, I play the game for the Marvel faces per se, but you know what I mean. Anyways, last but not least, we have Baron Zemo and his new uniform, and his options are Kamala Khan, Marvel, Inhumans, Adeline Rising, Miss Marvel, Carnage, Absolute Carnage, Vision, Uncanny, which is again kind of disappointing. I wish it was the newer Vision one. Nightcrawler Classic, and then Apocalypse Messiah Complex. Some pretty expensive options there for Zemo, and I think Zemo is probably the most expensive one of the three. And that's kind of weird to say, because Falcon and Winter Soldier both have a tier 3 and Zemo doesn't. So how is he the most expensive, Alex? Because he only costs 1,000 crystals. Well, here's the thing. He doesn't have a tier 3 or a Transcendent. Which means if you're buying this uniform, you're buying it almost exclusively for the leadership. Now, the leadership is very good. It's a 10% increase to all attack and 35% ignore dodge. That's going to be very meta for ABX. That's going to be very meta for squad battle. And who knows? If he gets a tier 3 or Transcendence in the mid-month, then he'll be very good as a leadership for Mephisto and Null. However, I will say this. His skills, from what I've tested, the brief testing that I did, it was not impressive. It really was not impressive. So unless he's getting a tier 3 or a Transcendence and he becomes, you know, he gets a huge stat bumps, he gets a crazy tier 3 skill, you know, he seems like a character that's just going to be purchased for what the uniform is bringing to the table. sort of like She-Hulk. You're buying her because her leadership is getting stronger with that uniform. Or someone who buys Valkyrie's uniform just for the passive buffs, even if they're not going to transcend her. The issue with Zemo is you can't transcend him. So even if you want to buy this uniform now and then hope to use it later for World Boss Legend, we have no idea when Zemo is ever going to get a Transcendence or a tier 3. So, it's a bit up in the air. It's a little bit dicey. If I had to rank the 3 uniforms right now, again, I'm running on very limited sleep, and I've had very limited time testing these guys. But my preliminary testing shows me that it's, Falcon first, Winter Soldier second, Zemo third. And that is sort of the ranking. Again, it's very preliminary. I'll give you guys full reviews and all that good stuff later on. I just wanted to cover the uniforms first, give you guys my first thoughts, first impressions. I think they're all definite upgrades for the characters. They all make the characters stronger. And again, Falcon was the worst, so he goes the highest. Falcon or Zemo was the worst. But then again, Falcon can go to tier 3, whereas Zemo can't, so maybe that's also why he seems better. But that's the uniforms. We are going to cover, I already transcended as you can see, we're going to cover Yelena and Taskmaster in a separate video because there's no uniforms there. There's just the Transcendence / tier 3 for Taskmaster. Now I want to talk about some new content or some existing content changes. The first one I already showed you guys is for the skills, you can now see some effect. So this is not going to, affect your gameplay at all. As far as your gameplay goes, this is completely unchanged. You're going to still play the characters the exact same way. You're going to do the same skill rotations, etc. But now you have more information should you want it. Basically, you can now see all of the skills. It doesn't show you what kind of damage it does. You have to go ahead and click it, but you'll see, or you sort of just touch it with your finger. This skill is physical damage, and you can sort of tell because of the fist, right? But it's physical damage, guard break, and ignore all targeting. And you can see here that instead of having the fist, that if it has the little blue lights with the circle in the middle, or the lines, it's energy damage. So this is energy damage with super guard break. This is energy damage with super guard break. This one over here, the fourth skill, energy quake, is energy damage with regular guard break. So you have energy damage, physical damage, you have guard break and super guard break denoted by the spear or the shield with the energy. And then you have both ignore targeting, and there's something else called ignore all targeting. So there's ignore all targeting and ignore targeting. I'm not exactly sure what the difference between those two is. I think ignore all targeting means that the skill has like priority iframe. It has nothing. I don't think ignore all targeting has to do with iframe ignore, because if you take, for example, we know that Yelena's first skill with this uniform has iframe ignore, but as you can see, Bazooka Launch does not list any kind of ignore targeting. There's just as guard break and physical damage, but then when you click on the skill, if you click away from these icons, you click on the skill somewhere else, it says that it has the ignore targeting effect. So it's a little bit confusing there. I want them to give us a little bit more information about that, but this does give you a lot more information, and you can especially see at a glance very quickly what these new characters bring to the table. And my sort of the cheat sheet that you can use is that if the character has a lot of super guard break, not just guard break, but if a character has a lot of super guard break, they might be good for PvP. Like Sentry, he has it on 4 out of his 5 skills. And then if they have a lot of ignore targeting, they're going to be pretty tanky. They're going to be able to dodge a lot of attacks from the bosses. Falcon being one to just like hang in iframes all the time. That's still pretty handy. And then if they don't have guard break, they don't have iframes, they're probably going to struggle mightily in PvP. So it's just a way to more visually represent the different effects. I think it's really cool. I think it just adds a little bit of extra information to the game, and it makes it more digestible rather than you having to remember which skills are iframes. If you take a break from the game and you come back and you're like, man, I really want to play with Doctor Strange. Which one of his skills? Maybe Doctor Strange is not a good example. I really want to play with Namor. I haven't played with Namor in so long. Hang on, which one of Namor's skills, which one's the iframe? What's the combo again? And you take a look, you're like, oh, okay, hang on. His fourth skill has, or his third skill has an iframe. His fifth skill has an iframe. Okay, awesome. Okay, so maybe I'm going to do 4 cancel 5 so I can hang in that iframe, and then I'll do 1 2 cancel 3, and I can hang in that iframe on 3. And so you can grab that information a little bit faster. You can see, oh, he's doing fire damage, so I got to remember fire damage obelisk or fire damage leadership or whatever. So that's pretty cool. The other change that I want to highlight that they made is pretty minor, and you may not have experienced it at all if you don't have World Boss Legend unlocked, but they finally added back the Mephisto music. So Mephisto came out in the Defenders update 3 updates ago, and he had his own music. Shortly after that, for some reason, they got rid of the music and they just copied and pasted the music over from null. And I was like, okay, true, I guess. I mean, the music's pretty lit, but like at the same time, he had his own original music, and in my opinion, they're native tier 3 world boss legends. Legends should have their own music. They're legends. Well, guess what? He's got his own music back. So now Mephisto has his own music. You can go ahead and jump into the fight. I mean, you can do your 5 world boss runs of the day and then just go and listen to it, but it's pretty lit. It's completely different. It honestly gives me some Marvel Future Revolution vibes. I really like it. Again, it's not something important for everybody. I know quite a few players that tell me, Alex, I didn't know you played the game with the sounds on, with the music. I haven't heard the music, the in-game sounds in years. And I get that, but I really like the sounds in the game, and I really like the fact that now there is a zone in the game, the Mephisto boss, where I can hear this specific track, and that's basically Mephisto's soundtrack as he whoops my ass or I whoop his ass. So I really like that. It's a really minor thing, but it honestly means quite a bit to me. A lot of people will dig that instead with Zemo dancing. Different strokes, different folks. Next thing I want to talk about, a lot of people have been asking about this, is the guided quest. So the guided quest is available, as you can see right there on the far right side, sort of corner of the screen, right above the gigantic blue enter button. It's got the little, stock market arrow going up. The guided quest is a little bit more complicated this time around because there's the tier 2 guided quest and there's the tier 3 guided quest. Now, a lot of people are immediately going to jump and ask, Alex, I'm trying to get to the tier 3 guided quest, but it's got all these tier 2 guided quests. Well, you're going to have to tier 2 all of those characters. If you want to access the tier 3 guided quest, you have to finish the tier 2 guided quest. And you can do those tier 2 guided quests. I think you can do up to 10 of them. It's not just one-time thing for the tier 2 guided quest. So do all of those guided quests, or just tier 2 those characters normally. You just have to tier 2 them. You don't have to tier 3 them or transcend them in the case of the transcended characters. Just get them to tier 2, and then once you're done, you will be able to access the tier 3 guided quest. Now, the tier 3 guided quest, as you can see, this is what it looks like in its base form. You have these 6 characters that you can choose from, and that's it. But then you can, of course, upgrade it. If you go at the bottom, it says character expansion right under my camera, right there. And if you click that, you'll be prompted with this window here where you can spend crystals. And then instead of choosing Ant-Man, Vision, Captain America, Black Widow, Iron Man, or Spider-Man, you can then choose Venom Hulk, Thor, Loki, Ghost Rider, Carnage. However, instead of doing that, what you can do is you can choose, for example, he's still very good at this point, Vision or Iron Man with the newest uniform. And then after you start one of these tier 3 guided quests, after you select the character and you start playing through it, then you can prompt yourself to purchase that 5,750 crystal super pack. And that super pack will give you a tier 3 selector that you can use on any of those characters there. So essentially what you can do, if you have about 6,000 crystals lying around, you can start the tier 3 quest for either Iron Man or Vision. I would suggest Vision. And then you can purchase the pack for 5,700 crystals, and then you can just boom, immediately pick up tier 3 Ghost Rider or tier 3 Carnage or tier 3 Loki or whatever. And then you can continue on doing the guided quest for Vision. I think that's the best deal. You continue doing the guided quest anyways, and you get back some crystals from that spending. So you're basically buying a tier 3 character for about 4,000 crystals. And you get another tier 3 character anyways with Vision, with any of these free ones over here, right? Alternatively, if you buy this one and then you buy the other one, it costs you a little bit more. It costs you about 8,000 crystals up front, but then you get to basically choose 2 characters from that bottom list. So 2 of Ghost Rider and Carnage, Hulk and Thor, Venom and Loki, etc. So basically, those are the options you have. I mean, of course, the other option is to just not spend any crystals and still get one of these 6 characters for free at tier 3. And I know what you're probably thinking, Alex, I have all 6 of these characters tier 3. Well, guess what? You still get some rewards. It's pretty cool. I'm going to show you right now. I'm going to press Vision as my character, and it's going to say Start Guided Quest. The character cannot be changed once selected, so you have to be very, very careful about this. Don't change your mind. Keep in mind as well, something to think about, Blast speed, speed, blast, speed, combat. There's only one character out of the free 6 that gives you combat Titan records. The Titan records, the 3 books that you get, the 3 Titan records that you get for the typing are going to match the typing of the character. So for Black Widow and Spider-Man and Ant-Man, it's going to be speed books. For Iron Man and Vision, it's going to be blast books. And then for Cap, it's going to be combat. Even though they have uniforms that change their typing, it's their base typing. They patched that. It was sort of bugged at the beginning, but now it's patched. What that means is, let's say you just tier 3'd Rogue. You're probably going to want to do the guided quest here for maybe Black Widow, because you're going to get 3 books, right? Maybe you're not going to tier 3 Black Widow. You sort of get what I'm saying. So you want to plan ahead a little bit. I don't really need the books either way. I mean, I was thinking about tier 3ing Taskmaster, but it's okay. We're going to go ahead here with Vision, just so I can show you this. We're going to click select character, and now we're going to do the tier 3 guided quest for Vision. So you can see I haven't spent any crystals, but now it's prompting me with the special plus pack. And I think this one is much more valuable if you don't have these characters both tier 3. So you can see here, I purchased the pack. I get the tier 3 selector instantaneously, and I can just choose any one of these characters. So you can just bang, choose Loki, bang, choose Ghost Rider, whoever, and then you can still play through this heroic path and get all of these rewards. So this is the other thing I wanted to highlight for you. I'm going to get all these rewards for free. I'm not going to get the special plus rewards because I'm not going to upgrade, but I get the 250,000 gold. It's just telling me to clear world boss. These are just regular quests, guys. So I get all these rewards on the left-hand side that are not grayed out for free, and I already have Vision tier 3. I get free energy, I get free black antimatter. I think you end up getting 1,200. I think it's 1,200. It's like 1,000 black antimatter. It's a lot of black antimatter. You end up getting like 600 Essence of Dimension and Titan component packs. So again, these rewards are all 100% free for every single player, regardless if you're a new player or you're a vet who has every character tier 3. So this is a really good, I mean, these rewards from the tier 3 guided quest are better than the rewards that they gave us for players who used the tier 3 ticket for the 6-year anniversary and had all the tier 3s existing. Look at that, CCF, you get like 250 CCF, you get 3 books. It's still showing universal books for some reason, even though it's supposed to be blast books for Vision, but yeah. So really, really, really good stuff from the guided quest here. It's very, very well designed, and the thing that I love about this guided quest for tier 3 is that it has something for everyone, right? For veterans who have all the characters, you get a bunch of free rewards. For new players, you get a free tier 3. For intermediate players who want to spend a little bit more and get a little bit more, you can get up to 2 very meta tier 3 characters. You could just bada bing, bada boom, and get tier 3 Ghost Rider and Venom. Just like that. Or if you wanted to go PvE, PvP, you could get tier 3 Hulk and tier 3 Thor, tier 3 Hulk and tier 3 Ghost Rider. Really, really cool stuff. I really like the guided quest. Last but not least, I want to cover the free shield support that every single player in the game has got. Now, it was a bit confusing from the patch notes. It seemed like only brand new accounts were going to get it, but then we all started logging into the game after the update and we realized that we all had it. I have it. Everybody has it. So it doesn't matter, again, whether you're a new player, veteran, VIP 0, VIP 20, everyone got 5 free days of the shield special support. Now, what that means is you're going to get 500 increased inventory slots for 5 days. You're going to get increased rewards in co-op, so make sure you don't miss co-op, in world boss, etc. You're going to be able to farm 20 bios instead of 10 every single day from the epic quests. So if you're trying to farm up some of these characters, let's say you're trying to get Rogue tier 2, make sure that you play these tracking missions, because as you can see, it's 20 per day instead of 10. That's all thanks to the shield special support. And again, every single player in the game is getting this. There was a bug that they listed in the June update known issues page that said some players weren't getting it, but you should be getting it, and that's why they patched it. So if you aren't getting it, log out, log back in, see if there's a 25 megabyte patch to download. Everybody's getting this. The 3 biggest things you need to know, however, the bios are really important, but the 3 biggest ones that you need to take advantage of for the next 5 days are as follows. and not necessarily in this order, but number 1, instead of getting 10 plays of timeline battle every single day, you're actually going to get 20. So after you complete your first 10 of the day, you're going to be able to do a free refill, as you can see there. This is a really good time to take advantage of this free refill and basically gain more tokens, gain more gold, gain more experience in PvP, and climb the ranks if you're trying to get from, you know, one league to another. It's a good time. Or if you're trying to get from Vibranium to Challenger, it's also a good time. Everybody gets it, so take advantage of it. The next thing is Shadowland. Because everyone in the game, whether you're VIP 0 or not, has access to the shield support, you're going to have access to Shadowland Plus. And what Shadowland Plus is, well, what I call Shadowland Plus, it's actually not called Shadowland Plus, it's just part of the shield support. You basically get to play autoplay plus, like actual skill autoplay in Shadowland. So I'll show you what I mean. And again, everyone has this, even if you're VIP 1. So you can see there, it says autoplay plus, and you check it off, and your character will actually use their skills. Everybody in the game has regular autoplay for Shadowland, where the character just does their auto attack over and over and over again, but your character needs to be really overpowered to kill an enemy in Shadowland with just their auto attack. However, using their skills basically means that your character can just be a little bit stronger than the enemy, because you have cards, because you have, you know, an ISO set, you have a uniform, you have an obelisk, etc., that the enemy doesn't have. So yeah, everyone has a, you know, everyone can take advantage of this for the next 5 days. So make sure you grind as much Shadowland as you can, climb to the highest possible level, because you can do it while auto-playing, which means you can do this while you're eating, while you're cooking, while you're in the bathroom, while you're in the shower, etc. The last, and in my opinion, the most important thing here with this free 5 days worth of the shield special support is the very last line, uniform XP plus 100%. Now, you can definitely use this shield support for the next 5 days to get 100% more character XP, and you can combo that combo with the store character XP, the advanced XP booster right here, and you can combo that to get 200% XP, and you can buy this every day for the next 5 days, and you can farm up a bunch of characters to level 60 really fast. But what I'm interested in, what I'm more interested in, is the uniform XP. So if you're not familiar with what this means, when you clear ticket content, if you have high VIP level, you will get uniform XP. If you play the stage, you will get uniform XP. But what this also means for every player, again, doesn't matter if you're VIP 0, the 100% uniform XP applies to uniform XP chips, and it doubles the amount that it gives you. I've already made a video on this, but I will show you guys again. I have this Hulk uniform that is halfway, it's 49% to Mythic. Rather than spending 20 level 5 XP chips, I can spend 10, okay? And it goes to 75%. It's going to give me 100% more, which means when I press use, it goes to 100% instead of going to 75%. So you can basically look at your uniform XP chips, and you will basically have, you can basically assume that you have double. That's really freaking good. Again, it's only for the next 5 days. It's only as long as you have the shield support active, but you can essentially use this to your advantage by leveling up a bunch of uniforms really fast. So because of the 100%, instead of having 110 level 5 uniform XP chips, I essentially have 220 that much worth of XP, because each one is going to give me 100% more. So instead of getting 2,350 XP from each chip, level 5, I'm getting 4,700 from each chip. So it basically, each chip acts as 2 chips worth. And that's the same for level 4, level 3, level 2, and level 1. So this is a perfect time to take advantage of this and use your uniform XP chips, because you're getting double, especially if you never buy the shield support, which also means it's not a bad idea to consider crafting. I believe you can craft level 2 uniform XP chips. It might not be a bad idea to take a week off from using your feathers to craft cards to craft these uniform XP chips, and then to use them to level up uniforms. It's not a bad idea. It's also not a bad idea to hit up the item shop in the store. I don't know the best way to get to this, but go to this item shop and refresh it a couple of times and look for uniform XP chips. I'm going to do it here now to try to show you guys, because you can buy uniform XP chips here. You can buy up to level 4 uniform XP chips. Oh, I'm not getting lucky today. No worries. Oh, hidden tickets. I'm down with that. But you can buy uniform XP chips here as well. So if you're like me and you've been stocking up a bunch of these, you've been stocking up a bunch of these dimension tickets, these rift tokens. My advice would be, over the next few days, use them up and refresh the shop a bunch of times, looking for the uniform XP chips, because they are here. Despite my bad luck not finding them, they are definitely here. And there they are. And you can then buy them with gold. These ones only sell for crystals, but you can buy these with gold. And then again, you can get a double return on those investments. So that is all I have to give you guys tips wise and first impressions wise about this Falcon and the Winter Soldier update. It's definitely an interesting update, and it's got a mixture of content, but I think it's going to be really fun to dive into and explore for basically all players, because there's tons of stuff to do for everybody. Right? It's really, really good. And then tomorrow we're going to see the rotation of the teams for all of these fragment farming. So that should be another exciting change as well. So yeah, hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.